Hello creatives, welcome to Artist Star. My name is Beth and I'm at the gallery today for the Zodiac series. This reading is for Taurus, whose correlating major arcana card is the Hierophant. This is the Artist card. It's here to represent you as the open vessel, ready to receive whatever source can pull from the well of infinite creativity. So Taurus, this is a new spread, again one of mine. I call it Pulling the Thread, and we are going to start with this first row and the Soul's Journey deck and ask the question, what part of me is most ready to tap for creative energy? Then we're going to go to the second row with the archetype cards, and here we ask what angle needs to be explored more deeply about whatever is revealed from the first row. And then the third row is what personality trait is supporting this energy. So again, just a little more insight into who you are and how to tap this creative energy. So last but not least, we're going to ask if Source has anything else or what else Source would like to share. We're going to go to the Power Animals cards and the Starseed cards. So let's begin and turn over this first row, which is how I like to do this reading with the pulling of the thread. We're going to go for all three at once, and we're going to ask the question, what part of me is most ready to tap for creative energy? Oh, we've got failure, the King of Diamonds in reverse, and the tree, the forest for the tree. Yeah, so interesting first row. Taurus, this is really juicy. There so many anecdotes come to mind about failure. It's like try again until you succeed, and you learn from every lesson how to do it right. It is that old adage about not looking at failure as a reason to stop, but just a reason to see how you could be doing it differently. You're very ingenuitive, is that the word I'm looking for? Just really capable, Taurus, of going at this from many different angles until you get the desired results. You do not give up easy, Taurus. We know this about you and love it about you. And so grounded and so ensconced in what you know to be your creature comforts, what makes you happy. So when something gets in the way of that, or you're not fulfilling a desire quick enough, that also can be a Taurus trait of just getting stuck and stubborn and sticking with something that is not going to work. So, failure. Let's see. I understand that a mistake is an opportunity to learn. Right? It's looking at the big picture, honestly, not the minutiae, because this card also speaks about it being an opportunity to evolve, and that evolve from the negative connotations of the word, but to envision and embrace the knowing that there's a different way to get the job done, right? If you don't find it one way, you look to learn from another way, with so many sources out there. So, okay, so this is pretty rich energy to be tapping into, because you can learn a whole lot about yourself with how you deal and feel about the when something doesn't go completely or totally right. It could just be in degrees of failure. Maybe it wasn't 100% success. So you look to see how you might make it be. And then we've got the King of Diamonds in reverse. So stuck energy, something that's not readily acknowledgeable for you. You're not quite seeing it yet. You haven't quite been able to form that thought in your head. Oh, okay, so I need to relook at this. So again, groundedness, diamond suit, King of Diamonds. This is also relates back to Taurus in the tarot. And here you are, right? Although it is transformation through deconstructing or some revelation about a value. So it's a limiting belief that needs to be destroyed or deconstructed. So it's a challenge to really see the value of that, to see the value of some bigger than you noble task that's at hand. So to open up a pathway to have that larger, bigger vision of not just you and how that might have just pinched a nerve in you, and that minutiae of self and ego. Okay, you can acknowledge that, and that's all fine and good. Sure, swear, throw something, do whatever you gotta do. And once you're cooled off and you're ready to put that feeling aside and take a look at the bigger picture, start looking for those breaks in the trees to see where you might find a different sense of what the worth of that whole scenario is. Looking for the bigger picture, because that's what kings are. They serve the public. They serve the society. The King of Diamonds is in a valued way. So, very interesting. Okay, so let's move on to the second row and ask what angle needs to be explored more deeply. What angle of you is this affecting? Child, orphan, Jack of Diamonds in reverse, and the mountains, an obstacle, basically. But with determination, it being in the upright position here, it is something that you can succeed. Interesting that you get the Jack here with the orphan card, because Jacks are independent. They are free thinkers. They are very, very busy. Jacks have the most work to do. And again with the diamond suit. So this is a energy, a Uranus energy, which is creative energy to figure out how to get around this obstacle of placing that and seeing that new vision of a value of something. It's not a failure, it's an opportunity. And this child, orphan, the light attributes, independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering fear of surviving. The Jacks are all about that. Shadow attributes, feeling of abandonment that stifle maturation, seeking inappropriate surrogate families, which would not be the king's path, and it shouldn't be a king in the making's path. And this is again about attaching a value to something, very fast-paced energy. Something again that you're not quite aware of in the moment, but hopefully will be able to reveal something that will start to tug on that thread, and that line of energy will start to open for you in a most beautiful, positive way. So, yeah, the jacks, aces, twos, and threes, feminine energy. So there's this beautiful light and nourishing and softer energy around the red suits. It is the salesman card, so it's about finding, recognizing, and adopting, really, right? Adopting a value to be placed on something. It's, as a salesman, it is necessary to understand the value that you place on what it is you're trying to sell. So that can be you, that can be a thought, that can be you selling something to your own self for vitality and energy to get something done, that you have to believe in it in order for it to have a positive connotation to it. And yeah, and then the thought, the whatever, sells itself. Once you buy into it and can see the value of it, acknowledge the value of something. So this is kind of lending the idea, popping into my head, thank you, Source, of that reluctance or fear of having to step out and just take your own life for what it is and take that responsibility for yourself in a situation that you have not yet been challenged to do. We are all challenged to grow, and this is definitely a challenge for you to not rely on other people's visions and thoughts around something. It's like having learned all you can learn from the teacher. It is now time for you to go and put those beliefs, those values, to work for you and figure out a way to incorporate that into you being you, what you find value around. It's time to grow a little bit all the way up, right? Pull on those boots and step out the door and start living your life. And do it by knowing that failure is not failure. Failure is an opportunity. Wow. And that you can do it. This is awesome. Yeah, the aces, twos, and threes. So Brahma energy. I don't think I finished that thought. Aces, diamonds, coming to some epiphany about exactly that. Just finding a value, recognizing that something has shifted and you are now aware of that shift. Then the twos, coming into contact, connecting with that idea really making it connect for you and who you are. And then the 3, to see it through to fruition, to basically reap the fruit, right? Harvest that and use it, get the energy from it. And what do you do with the core, with the shell, whatever? You put it into the fodder and you compost it and wait for something else to come along. But there is a shelf life on the energy of the jacks. It is, like I said, very fast-paced. Aces, 2s, and 3s. It moves very quickly. It is something that can just happen in a day, or maybe even less than that. It could be an hour. It could be a few minutes. It is that kind of energy. So, yeah. But it promises that it is something that you will be able to use for the rest of your life, right? This is fast-paced, quick, out of left field learning. All right, so let's move on to the 3rd row here with the Spirit Messenger cards and find out what personality trait is supporting this energy. So you got the Listen. I love this card. And, 5 of Clubs. Very busy card here too. And, the Sun. How lovely to get this card here. This is you. Big, bright, beautiful you. Just like the Aces reflect you as the sun, right? That is who you are, your sun sign. And this again is just a reflection of you being you. Big, beautiful, and bold. So it's good luck. It's coming your way. It's closer than you think. And it is going to be just a most delightful, loving, kind, and generous experience that you are setting yourself up for here by taking that first step out into this new understanding of who you are and how you place values. So the Listen card, let's read this first, and then we'll move on to what the 5s represent. Listen. You have to be willing to listen if you want to really understand someone. Now is not the time to be offering advice, but to be a compassionate listener. To listen fully and intently means to pay attention, not to just what's being said, but to what lies beneath the words. So you could really kind of relate that to this whole message here and just understand that sometimes you have to listen to your inner self as well. And that voice can come through in many different ways. You can read something, you can see something, can experience something, and boom, you have a new message that is being given to you about this. So the 5 of Clubs, fast-paced, very energetic energy here. This is knowledge seeking. So this is some work on your part to delve into that intellectual pursuit of how to go about that first step in this new direction for you. You know, you could be a very old soul, or you could be a very young soul. You could be a young person, you could be an older person. It doesn't matter, because every day we are faced, all of us, with lessons that you can feel you've failed, or you can feel that you've been given an opportunity to find a new value in how you see it. So that's what this reading is all about for you, Taurus. And the 5s here, they are all about Jupiter energy for one thing. So that is very joyful, big energy that lends a lightness, joy around the act of pursuing this knowledge. So it's a happy thing, this knowledge seeking. It's spiritual. It is a great opportunity to grow with Source's help by making right choices through trial and error. Failure, or is it, right? That's what the fives do, trial and error. That is gleaming all of those beautiful gold nuggets that you hold with you. As something doesn't work, you realize something more about what will work. Trying something different on. There's no failure with the fives. It is just try. Don't try, do. Yoda. But no, there's some trying in here, Yoda. That's what the fives are all about. You got to try. Try again. And every time that you have to try again, you say, well, yeah, okay, for the most part that did not work, but what did I learn from that experience? Now that's a plus. That's the fives. All right, so let's move on to see what else Source would share with you with the power animals and the Starseed card. Channel. Very interesting card to get here. You are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. Wow, that's a nice little bit of information about you and your art, isn't it? And you got the donkey. Relationship and respect. So let's read about relationships and respect, because this could be a relationship with yourself, with, again, how you treat yourself, whether it's harshly or empathetically when you experience what you see or have felt is a failure without being able to acknowledge the value in it, and that try again. So let's see what Donkey has to share. Donkeys are social, hardworking animals, much like a Taurus. They're also very good judges of character, much like a Taurus. They will gladly be of service, much like a Taurus, but only if there is a balance of trust and respect within the relationships. So Taurus. Donkeys will not be talked into doing something they disagree with or find dangerous. They could be talking about Taurus here. When you receive this card, indecisiveness occurs when the ego is in conflict with the higher self. The ego fuels the mind with constant chatter until it overflows with feelings of doubt, anxiety, or self-importance. Once this happens, it can be difficult to separate reality from illusion. You alone have the authority to make decisions about what is right for you. When hesitation or confusion persists, the spirit of the donkey encourages you to quiet your waking mind and trust the light within. Therein lies the answer to everything you seek. What a beautiful message for you, Taurus. Wow. All right. So, yes, placing and finding and just connecting with that newfound value about you and everything else in your life. I love it. Beautiful, beautiful opportunity here. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, and hope that it resonates. And as always, happy creating.